everyone, and welcome back to the Cup Council. How are we all? Hopefully all of you are on a fantastic day from wherever you are around the world, and welcome to yet another transfer video for you guys tonight. It's not really a transfer video. It's just all all the bits and the gossip, and again, there's nothing much to talk about, so we have to look at the fine details. But of course, we do have some very important stories. Of course, Michael Edwards being linked with the likes of Chelsea and Manchester United and many other clubs, around Europe, and we'll speak all about that. Spoilers, he's rejected both Manchester United and Chelsea, which is hilarious. But we will speak all about that in tonight's video. We'll also have news about Jude Bellingham as well, and what Fabrizio Romano's had to say about Jude Bellingham's future, and particularly who we think he might be going after Jude Bellingham this summer. We got news as well on the likes of Neco Williams. We've got news on Ben Davies as well, and kind of is a Liverpool target. Christopher Nkunku, will have news about him as well. Signing a new 4-year deal, and I think now he has a £60 million or 60 million euro release clause as well. So we'll talk all about that in tonight's show anyway. But guys, let me know how all of you are. Let me know as well your thoughts on the stories and things like that throughout the chat as well. Let me know your overall thoughts, and just let me know how all of you are in the chat down below. And if you could as well, if you're new around here, I did look, I think the video from a couple of days ago got over 1,000 subscribers, or 1,000 views, sorry. So thank you very much for that. And as well, thank you for all the new subscribers that are here as well. I think about 8-9 people subscribed in the last day. So thank you very much for all the support, guys. I do very much appreciate it. But evening, Connor, how long have you had your channel? What's your best and worst moments of having your channel since you started? I think it's about 2 years now. I think it's about 1.5 2 years. I'm still living in lockdown, to be fair. But yeah, best just getting to know the people that I have. And I couldn't really say a worst. A worst one is when we have like a really bad start to the stream. Remember me and Makendo, the stream just lagged at the beginning, and yeah, it just wouldn't work. But yeah, apart from that, everything else has gone fine so far. Anyway, but thank you, Helen, for commenting as well. Hopefully on a fantastic day. How are you doing, Connor and Helen? I'm doing fantastic, thank you. Mark as well, and Brian's in as well. Hello, Brian. Hopefully a fantastic day as well, saying hi Connor as well. John is in as well, saying big up Connor, mate. Yeah, cheating bastard. Hello John, hopefully having a fantastic day, my friend. Brian says big quote next season for Nkunku at that price. Yeah, there is a big queue ahead for Christopher Nkunku. I think, well, of course we'll actually speak about it first before we speak about Michael Edwards and so on. But yeah, there are going to be a lot of Premier League clubs interested in him this season. I would say next season, no one this season. I don't think anyone will get him this year, but next year, I think, yeah, to be fair, a lot of people will be going after Christopher Nkunku next season. Everyone telling man F off these days. No, exactly. I would agree absolutely as well. Cool, Connor, as well. Give it a rest. Your stream have been high class from day one. Well, thank you very much, Mark. I do very much appreciate it. The only time, but no, it was the only time that it's failed or gone worse, when we had bad starts to the stream, but the stream hasn't gone well. But no, there is probably other moments as well. But thank you very much for the nice comments as well. But we'll kick off then. As you guys have put it right. To be fair, he was down on my list. There we go. There he is. There's Fabrizio Romano officially confirming the news about Christopher Nkunku. Says official and confirmed. Christopher Nkunku extends his contract with RB Leipzig until June 2026. Deal now signed and sealed. There is a release clause included in the new deal for 60 million euros. But he does go on to add to the fact as well, saying Christopher Nkunku's release clause with RB Leipzig will be valid starting from summer 2023. Also, it could reach higher figures, as happened with other Leipzig clauses in the past. For sure, many top clubs are already well informed on Nkunku's situation. Now, of course, other situations and other people could be, going towards the likes of Naby Keita. You look as well, Ibu Konate as well had a release clause of like £85 million, and then of course it went away pretty quickly. But 60 million euros, £51 million, I think this season, I think he was involved in nearly 40 goal contributions, in the Bundesliga, which is, outrageous. And I know plenty of teams have been linked with him. We've been linked with him, Manchester United, Chelsea, more particularly over the last couple of weeks. But I don't know, guys. Let me know your thoughts, because Nkunku, he offers you, of course, plenty of positions up front. Centre forward, you can play on the left, can play on the right, can play as a 10 as well. Especially Liverpool go into that bracket of going 4-2-3-1, and it's interesting, isn't it? Because I think 51 million pounds, it's a great deal. But of course, if you pay that now, instead of next year, now of course, I think if RB Leipzig were to win the Bundesliga, I think, of course, then you'd go up a bit more, and as well Champions League as well. So I think this is the bottom estimate towards, Nkunku's release clause. Like, if they don't get Champions League, if they maybe get Europa League football next season. But it'll be interesting. I think it will be interesting to see, the amount of Premier League clubs, because we've all known that the likes of Chelsea and, like I said, us and United have been interested in him, but other teams as well. He came from PSG, and PSG is supposedly interested in him yet again. I think Madrid also were very interested in him as well. But it's going to be something where I think he will move. I don't think this summer. I think he'll most likely now be next summer. But guys, let me know your thoughts, because that was a little bit of news I wanted to bring. But of course, it didn't really involve Liverpool so much, because of course he's been linked more with other teams like Chelsea and of course Manchester United as well. But let me know, guys, your thoughts on Christopher Nkunku. Would you want him at Liverpool? I know a couple of people on Twitter were going on about it and saying Liverpool should be all over it and so on. So let me know your thoughts, guys, in the chat as well. Give a rest of streams for a day. Thank you, Mark. Hi Helen, hope you're having a lovely day, says John. 60 million euros, still not a bad price buyout. No, exactly. It's for that quality of player, I would say personally it's a very, very good deal, for the correct club anyway. 35 goals this season. Nkunku, if he does that again, he will have his pick. Not exactly, he'd be absolutely brilliant, wouldn't he? It's been okay. To John as well. Gary's in as well, saying evening Connor. Hello Gary, hopefully you're having a fantastic day, my friend. Andrew's in as well, saying hello lads, hope you've had a great day. I wish the season was not now, but obviously 2 months away can't come soon enough. Well, pre-season is literally right around the corner. I think it's what, 2-3 weeks now till the boys are back in training. So yeah, it's going to be absolutely unbelievable when we see the boys and the new boys as well. Darwin Núñez, of course, Calvin Ramsey, Fabio Carvalho. I'm very excited to see those lads in pre-season already. Could he replace Salah on the right, or is he a bit too different? Well, to be fair, we'll take a quick look at Christopher Nkunku's stats. Let me quickly get his stats up. But for me, he's not the type of player that mostly plays on the right. You look at it, for me, I think he's more of a centre forward, type player. Like, I know he can play on the right, can play on the left, can play it wherever. But again, well, to be fair, and this is, I'll show it to you guys now on. It's a really, really good site, but it's where I get all the football stats and that. But of course, Christopher Nkunku, the number one player that he is, similar players to like, is, let's take it off, is Mohamed Salah. So you guys would be correct. But as you can see, he's getting linked with all the likes. But if you look at his stats, top 99% for pretty much the XGs, non-penalty goals, assists as well. Going forward, he is in the high 80s, 90s% as well. And if you look at it as well, interceptions not the best, but then again, everything going forward, Christopher Nkunku is pretty much on the green light, I would say. But for me personally, I think, look, 60 million euros, would it be that? Who knows? Maybe it could be their Bobby replacement next year. You don't know Liverpool's plans. But for me, I think, look, he would be one hell of a signing if he was to join Liverpool as well. But again, as if Jurgen Klopp would want him as well. Would you love him at Liverpool, Connor? I wouldn't mind him at Liverpool, but to be awfully honest with you, my number one target, spoilers for the future segment, but is Jude Bellingham. You get him no matter what now next season. I would rather have Bowens as Gary. Again, a very, very good player. I wouldn't argue with it. I absolutely wouldn't argue against it. Mark says, I've only really seen Bellingham play for England. Literally go and watch him. He's so wasted at England. Go and watch him in the Bundesliga. He's very, very good. Hello, Jeff. Hello, Jack. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Wasted for England, to be honest with you. Yeah, no, he is. Hope you're all well, chat, as well. Mark says, welcome, Jack. Hope you're doing well as well. What we got? Big up, Jack, mate. I hope you're well. And Jack says, good. Dad's got the all clear from COVID. Fantastic news. Big up the Mick on the COVID. Just been looking after him. Sorry for no vids. Don't worry, Makendo. I expect full transfer videos next week. 100%. Absolutely 100% next week. But no, good to hear that your dad is all good now, mate. That's brilliant news, Jack, mate, as well. 75 million to match Rafinha. For God's sake, God. No. I like Rafinha as a player, but his attitude isn't the best. And yeah, I think, look, Arsenal. I think he is just a full-on Arsenal player or Manchester United player. Not Manchester United, sorry, Barcelona player when you look at it. But yeah, for me, it's a no. I wouldn't have him anywhere near Liverpool, just due to his attitude personally. As player-wise, then yeah, 100%, I'd have Rafinha at Liverpool. But of course, again, it's terrible. Yeah, guys, let me know just your thoughts anyway about, of course, the news, Christopher Nkunku, and all that good stuff as well. But we will get on then to, of course, the main news. And the main news is that, of course, Michael Edwards has turned down the chance to become Chelsea and Manchester United sporting directors. Now, of course, this does come around a lot. Of course, this is at Anfield. They're pretty good with all the stuff as well, and we'll have some quotes as well from Melissa Reddy as well. She's got a few things that she's said as well, also on Sky as well, and of course she's pretty reliable as well. And they've got one of the top brackets anyway. But as you can see, Chelsea want Michael Edwards for sporting director job. Manchester United also linked with Michael Edwards departing his post at Liverpool sporting director this summer. Both Chelsea and Manchester United have emerged with interest in hiring him, and then of course it goes on to, of course, go on about Julian Ward and so forth as well. But we all know at the minute as well, Chelsea are having a lot of backroom staff leaving the club at the minute. A lot of Roman Abramovich's, backroom staff. And looking at all of the, all of the details and so on, it does look like it's more so Chelsea are after Michael Edwards than anyone else. There are, of course, and I will read out the comments from Melissa Reddy, but there are other people as well that are interested and very, very interested in bringing Michael Edwards to their clubs. Now, of course, we all know Michael Edwards. He's done a phenomenal job at Liverpool. It's now, we also saw him in the parade as well and all that video as well, which was brilliant. But we all know that he wants a break from football. He's been at Liverpool for over 10 years. He's been absolutely marvellous. I think he's going to take, something, a big period of time off, I would say, and a well-deserved break as well. But it does seem that Chelsea are the team that are most, pushing the buttons. United are as well doing it supposedly, but Chelsea more so, because at the minute Chelsea are having a complete refresh from top to bottom at the minute. And for me, look, as we'll read out Melissa Reddy's comments as well, saying that Chelsea are interested in Michael Edwards as their sporting director, but it would take something to blow the bloody doors off to even get him to a meeting at the moment, let alone consider a new job in football. And she did also have to say as well that Real Madrid and PSG are even billionaires wanting to buy football clubs have approached Michael Edwards to have him run them, but he wants a break from football. Now, look, like we said, I don't think we can blame Michael Edwards whatsoever for taking a break. He's done a marvellous job for Liverpool Football Club over the last 10 years. And I think he knows as well, I don't think he'd ever go to Chelsea or Manchester United. For me, of course, the rumours were there, back 6 months ago, 7 months ago, about him potentially going to Real Madrid. For me, as you've seen there, he's not looking for a job in football. He doesn't want a job in football. But if he was to go to a football club, I think it would be something, small. I don't think he'd want to go to someone that has, that could throw money at the wall then and waste it then practically. I think he'd want to go to a smaller team and develop them like what he did with Liverpool. He took, look at Randy Robertson, plenty of other players as well that he bought and they become superstars. And that's, I think, what he would want to do. But at the minute, there's no chance he joins Manchester United or Chelsea either. But it was very interesting looking at, the topic today and looking at, everything that got mentioned, because it was, I think late last night and this morning as well that this news broke out as well. I was watching Melissa Reddy on Sky as well talk about it, and that's exactly what she said. But it was just hilarious. The United fans were like, "Oh, we're going to get Michael Edwards. We're going to do a Liverpool, this, that, and the other." And it's like, yeah, you're not getting Michael Edwards whatsoever. So yeah, it's absolutely brilliant that he's just told them to go and screw themselves. But yes, it is Chelsea, the ones that are pushing the most out of both clubs, because like I did say again, Chelsea are the ones that are currently having a massive shake-up behind the scenes as well, of course, with the new owners as well. Oh, sorry to hear that, Jack. No problem. Life comes first, absolutely. And guys, let me know your thoughts. Keep your comments coming in as well. Let me know your thoughts on Michael Edwards practically telling Manchester United and Chelsea to bugger off as well. But of course, Real Madrid, PSG, and also unnamed billionaires wanting to buy clubs, also wanting Michael Edwards to run their club. That's how well of a good job he's done, as well as, of course, Newcastle. I'm surprised wasn't mentioned today, but again, it wouldn't surprise me if they've had conversations with Michael Edwards over the last couple of months or so on. Jack as well. So Gary, Connor did try and wake me up this morning. I did, but it failed massively. Dank phone text, lol. Gary as well. So Gary Lar. Andrew said, great news, Jack. Glad your dad is fantastic. There's more Asensio rumours again. Wouldn't believe anything with Asensio. He gets linked with Liverpool every single summer. Same with it's changed now because Isco's now gone from Madrid and he's gone on a free. It's now Asensio is the new Isco. I wouldn't believe anything with that, to be honest, awfully honest with you, but I could be completely wrong. 55 to 60 I think million, I think, says Brian as well. Big man Edwards, love it, son. Yeah, big up Michael Edwards. I think, yeah, pretty much he's told them to go and bugger themselves, which I love. Absolutely. United taking all the L's, says Gary. Absolutely, Gary. I still wonder where he wants to go. I think he might go. Wouldn't surprise me if he went to American sports, like something like NBA or even baseball, something like that. I don't know whether or not, but that's because of the money ball. But for me, I don't think he wants a football job. But it will be interesting. He might take one in the future, but I just don't know. I just don't think he'll be football for a while. To be fair, a list of things United can buy. Chat below. Keep it clean. I have nothing at the minute. North Redden as well saying, Mr. Edwards is no mug. He knows when something smells off. Get well soon to Jack's Pop as well. Absolutely. And yes, Michael Edwards does indeed know when something's wrong. A corner flag, says Mark. Hey, look, it wouldn't surprise me if they can't as well, to be fair. What else do we have? Philip is in as well, saying, if he wants to load up, are you surprised that they wanted him and that he turned them both down? No, I'm not surprised. Look, Michael Edwards is the best out there. If you look at Liverpool over the last couple of years, they've identified the likes of Mohamed Salah. I think, Michael Edwards was a firm, well, I think he was the firm one about Mohamed Salah joining Liverpool. Jurgen was a bit maybe he's not the one for us, but Michael Edwards and the transfer committee, they convince Jurgen Klopp or Mohamed Salah, and we all know what happened since. So he is the best around that isn't currently at the football club. And the best thing is, Michael Edwards has taught Julian Ward everything that he knows. So practically, when Julian Ward does leave Liverpool, it'll be the exact same thing. People trying to poach the best in the competition. You look at, Manchester United, for example, losing out on Darwin Núñez. To us, there was no real competition when it came to it. Darwin Núñez wanted Liverpool. Liverpool wanted Darwin Núñez. But, United were supposedly not wanting a bidding war, but they did nothing. They didn't act. We've seen with Liverpool with Luis Diaz. As soon as Spurs wanted wanted Luis Diaz, Liverpool just jumped at the opportunity to sign him at the same price. United didn't do anything. And that's the thing. United don't have a very good transfer committee. They don't. They try and manipulate clubs into, we'll give you this, and this. They don't do it, and then they end up paying 10 times more than what they originally agree, and that's the thing, isn't it? I think it's hilarious, isn't it? But yeah, I definitely, I'm not surprised that both of them have approached. By I'm definitely not surprised he's turned the both down anyway. Has Salah signed the contract? No, he's not. Gary, unfortunately, I'd love to report it. I'd be live for hours if that was the case, but no, doesn't look like. I don't think that Mohamed Salah signed a new deal. If he has, guys, let me know. Cheers, North. Much love, mate, as well. Jax is not yet at Gary as well. Let me quickly scroll back up because I've lost the comments. Where we buy. There we are. Mark says Chelsea's a horrible club. Absolutely. Edwards has done an ace job for us, but he's a free agent. He can sign for any team. I'm really hoping he chooses a team that isn't a first of our rivals. No, again, Helen, I don't think he will. To be fair, I don't think he will go anywhere near football, to be honest with you. Salah still has a year left on his contract. Yeah, he still has 1 year left on his deal at the minute. He does, well, he will leave on a free next summer if he doesn't sign a deal by now. King Edward says Gary as well. Would he go down to the Championship or lower? Who knows? Potentially. It could definitely see it. I wouldn't be one of these people that'll be surprised by it. Like I said, I think he would take a small club and make him, brilliant. Over, give him a 5, 6, 7 year period. Look what he's done with us. Again, he's turned us from a club that was finishing 7th and 8th to a team winning a Premier League, winning Champions League. So yeah, for me, I think it's plain to see. So Man U's still in the running, lol. The Interest FC is Manchester United as well. Michael Edwards was an unsung hero for our success in the last few years. 100% would absolutely agree with that as well. Get well soon to Jack McKendo as well. Yeah, absolutely. As well. Good old Mick. I love Mick, to be fair. What else do we have? Let me scroll back up. Newcastle would be a good bet too to get Edwards. Yeah, I would agree, 100%. It would be, again, it's one of those exciting projects, isn't it? Where he'd have resources, wouldn't he, at Newcastle, without a shadow of a doubt. So again, it would be a really, really good job, to be fair. Dougie as well says Gary as well. Andrew says, Connor, what's your thoughts on Rabiot? Again, Rabiot, no. His mum, I think, was it his mum had a go at, was it Pirlo when he was at Juventus? Yeah, no, absolutely not. Would never ever entertain him at Liverpool. But yeah, no, now and Andrew anyway. Evans Gerrard could bring in Edwards. Yeah, exactly, he could. The Villa project. Yeah, that would be a shout, to be fair. Again, but who knows? Where did Isco go, says Brian? We don't know at the minute. I think Isco he's a free agent at the minute. He is a free agent, so who knows? Could potentially see him at Liverpool. Could potentially see him in the Premier League. Of course, not at Liverpool now. He's too old. I think he's 27 now. I think Isco is 26. But yeah, Premier League. Could definitely see him in that as well. How are we doing today, Doug? As well, says Mark. Did he not have an agreement with a lower league French team? Says John. Who's this for? Michael Edwards or Rabiot? was it Isco? We're talking about there's so many conversations happening at the minute. But John, let me know in the chat. Anyway, United could buy some more Norwich scarves. Yeah, absolutely. Hey Doug, you're cheating bastard as well. Will Liverpool sign anyone else? Never say never, but I'd say no. Personally, I would say no for this season. Anyway, but guys, keep your comments coming in anyway, and let me know your thoughts in the chat as well. But before we do move on to the Jude Bellingham story that I know all of you are here for, and that, so thank you very much for tuning in as well. But we do have other transfer news as well. Neco Williams, we spoke about it on the video a couple of days ago about him joining Fulham. There is a bid supposedly on the table at the minute. But Nottingham Forest now are supposedly in contact with Liverpool as well. So it looks like it's going to be a bidding war between both Fulham and Nottingham Forest as well. So again, that would be very, very interesting. But I think, of course, Liverpool are looking for around £15 million. I think that with the both of them competing to get his signing, I think is 100% going to be achievable. And I would say for Neco Williams, £15 million. And plus, I also think that, me personally, I think Neco will choose Fulham over Nottingham Forest. But to be fair, Nottingham Forest, it does seem like a very exciting project, of course, at the minute. Of course, Steve Cooper, their former Liverpool Academy coach as well. So, might know Neco Williams from his time at Liverpool. So, potentially there could be something there. But, guys, let me know your thoughts as well. And as well, we spoke about him on Doug's show, about being in the worst Liverpool 11. But Ben Davies, if you guys remember Ben Davies, of course, which is, some people may remember him, some people might not remember him. But clubs in Scotland and England are both interested in, of course, Ben Davies, and Liverpool have set their price tag as well for the English international. Now, it does look like Liverpool are asking for £4 million for Ben Davies. I think he still has 4 years left on his contract at the present moment in time, but at the minute as well, Celtic do seem like the team that are very much interested in bringing Ben Davies to of course, Celtic. It's funny because when Liverpool were about to buy Ben Davies, supposedly Celtic had agreed, the fee, the fee, the player wages, everything, and then Liverpool came in and Ben Davies joined Liverpool instead of Celtic. But now it does look like Celtic are 100% going to go for Ben Davies this summer at the present moment in time. But of course, things could change from now until then. But before we do go on to the Jude Bellingham news, because like I did say, I think all of you are here for that. It's not really news, but of course we'll speak about it as well, because I have my opinions on it. To be fair, didn't they tell Nunes to snap our hand off at the deal? I don't know, probably. Ten Hag has failed already, Connor. I don't think it's his fault, to be awfully honest with you. I think it's United's fault for not realising that they can't bargain with anything, I would say. It says, evening all, I'm all good. Thanks all as well, says Doug. Glad to hear that, my friend. As well, I think Michael Edwards will go to America, Boston maybe, potentially. Absolutely, I could see that 100%. Can't wait to go to get underway again. Yeah, exactly. I would absolutely love. I can't wait for the season to start already. To be fair, did Liverpool have real interest in Asensio? No, I would say no. Personally, Brian, I would say personally no. I don't think he's anywhere near Liverpool. I think, again, I will say this again, Isco was linked to Liverpool for years, and I think Asensio has been the exact same. Maybe there might be something in it, but for me, I don't think there's anything in it personally. I think it's just, silly season in effect, to be fair. But smash the like, chat, and subscribe if you could. Very much appreciate if anyone in here that isn't yet subscribed, then please hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to hit that notification bell as well to remind yourselves when we go live or post a video as well. Done already, says Mark. Thank you very much, my friend. I think Michael Edwards will go to America. That's what I already read. If you ever hear about holidays with Douglas, for God's sake. As well, says Mark. Edwards may near sure he had an agreement with a lower league French team. Be interesting. I haven't seen anything about that, but again, anyone to stop PSG in the French league, bring it on. To be fair, I think that's what Michael Edwards says as well. When is the Community Shield? I think it's the 30th of July. I think, yeah, 30th of July, I think it is. I think on the 31st is the Anfield game. So that I will be going to. So if you guys, anyone's going, then please do let me know. I'm really hoping we go for Barella this summer. Don't tell Jack that. Jack would be, doing things right now if Barella joined Liverpool. Anyway, 31st of July, says Mark. It might be the 31st. I think it's the 30th, though. To be fair, whom the bloody hell is Ben Davies, Connor? He's a model. He's a model for Liverpool that we bought for £2 million from Preston. So, that's who he is. To be fair, Fulham are probably a better bet long term for Neco. Forest are interesting, though. Yeah, exactly. I think we said it, didn't we, that Forest, Fulham, and Southampton want Neco Williams. And you think about it, look, for me, Neco Williams, if he was any other time through Liverpool's history, might have got a chance at right back for Liverpool. If he was a Liverpool right back, anywhere from 2010 to 2016, would get game time no matter what. But we've come across this brilliant right back, brilliant player in Trent Alexander-Arnold that's took the right back position to another level. And sadly for Neco Williams, he needs to move on, for himself and to, we speak about World Cup here, and, even if he was at Liverpool, I think he would still get picked for Wales, but you want him to be playing football. He's 20, 21, even probably less than that. He should be playing first team football for a club. And look, as far as we've seen, he's enjoyed his football at Fulham. So for me, I think, look, it's the right deal for both. You sell him for a good price, and he goes and plays football and does what he wants. And I think, look, for me, I think he'll do well at Fulham, and I think Nottingham Forest, no matter where he goes, I think he'll be pretty brilliant. To be fair as well. But let me know, guys, your thoughts in the chat as well. But Mark says, yeah, Brian as well. It's like Ten Hag has dived into a deep end with exactly. Yeah, I would agree. Absolutely. Can see Ten Hag walking by the end of the season, if not sacked. I don't think he'll get sacked, but again, I didn't think David Moyes would get sacked. Way back when Man United have it hard to attract players. Yeah, exactly. And I don't think United really realised how much dead wood they have at the club. And I think they pretty much thought that they would get rid of all of their dead wood in one summer. And I'm like, no, you can't do that. Even if you do have terrible dead wood, like, Fred, McTominay, so on, Maguire as well. You look at it and you're like, well, you have to get rid of that over a 2-year period, maybe even 3-year period. You can't just get rid of it all at once because you can't get the players in. And look, it's hilarious. I find it hilarious as well, to be fair, with United. But it is lovely because, Liverpool, we've had this in the past where we've had struggles and so on. So, look, for me, I love it. I love United failing at the minute as well. Doug is wedding. No, exactly, he is as well at the minute. Barella is class, says Gary. Gerardson saying Bellingham 18 next summer, Elliott 19, Jones 21, Carvalho 19, Hendo 32, top class Fabinho at 28, world class Thiago at 31, Ox, Milner, Keita off. That does not look like a Premier League or UCL winning midfield. Personally, well, we've won the Premier League with those, and you look at it. I think if we look at, and we'll look now into Jude Bellingham's story, but if we look at it, I agree with the aging midfield, but you've said it there. If Bellingham wants to come in, Bellingham 18, Elliott 19, Curtis Jones, Carvalho, you still have a Fabinho that's amazing. Thiago, yes, he's a year older, but he's still amazing. The way he plays. Jordan Henderson then would go for me into that James Milner role at the club. And then I think even still, I think Keita stays. Again, I think he'll sign his new deal. in the summer. I think that's the priority now. I think, to be fair, I think it's him, Gomez, Harvey Elliott is the main priorities now, and Mohamed Salah, of course. But again, I get where you're coming from, but for me, I think again, I think it's a bit harsh. To be often honest with you, again, players, the players that you've listed, they've won Premier Leagues, they've won Champions Leagues, and got to Champions League finals as well. But be sorry to see Neko go. He's going to be a brilliant player, a brilliant weak player as well. So John, yeah, absolutely. He looked great for Wales whenever I see him. Yeah, I think he plays left back, doesn't he? I think for Wales most of the time. I should know how much, but yeah, for me, I think left back, right back, he does pretty well, doesn't he? For Wales. Google says it's Sunday, the 31st of July for the Community Shield final. Oh, I might be wrong then. I might be wrong. I thought it was the 30th. I thought the other game was the 31st. I'm wrong. Deadwood at £1 billion. Yeah. Again, gee, how on earth they spend £1 billion on all of that? Man United are Liverpool under Roy Hodgson, and you love to see it. Absolutely, I do agree with you on that as well, John. Anyway, but we'll move on then to, of course, the Jude Bellingham news. And realistically, it's just what Fabrizio Romano has had to come out and say. But I thought it was very, very interesting as well from this little part they did speak about on an interview as well, saying, I'm sure Liverpool will enter the race for Jude Bellingham next summer. And it's not just Liverpool, because all top clubs, not only from England, but also from Spain, are watching the situation around Jude Bellingham. Now, I did also see another quote that I forgot to add onto this as well, that he did say that Liverpool are the top English club at the minute. But again, you'd suspect that it's going to be Liverpool, Manchester United, Manchester City as well. If Calvin Phillips doesn't work, they might turn around and go, right, well, we're just going to sign Jude Bellingham and see if that works. But then you've also got the likes of, Real Madrid would be very, very interested. We've seen this over the last couple of weeks, them getting linked. Of course, you'll have Bayern Munich looking around as well, even though I think they'll be priced out with a move out for Jude Bellingham. But for me, I think the worrying sign for Liverpool waiting until next year for Jude Bellingham is the World Cup. Now, we all know when a World Cup happens, we all know that prices go up. If Jude Bellingham, for me, has a good or brilliant World Cup, even though there's been talks of a set price in his contract and so on, the Borussia Dortmund are going to be looking for an even more higher price tag. It always happens. Now, the problem is at the moment you have a World Cup that's going to be in November, a little bit into December as well. And then you have the rest of the season. But of course, you have January as well. Now, for me, I think, again, I want Liverpool to get Jude Bellingham done on a pre-agreed contract, plain and simple. Like similar to Naby Keita, even if right now, if you went, oh, okay, we'll buy him for, £80 million over installments, that'll be fair enough for me. But again, if he has an amazing World Cup, if he has an amazing season, you're then looking at 100 million, 110, 120 million pounds that Borussia Dortmund would be asking. Now, to be fair to Dortmund, they are quite, upfront with their price tags. We know with the likes of with the likes of Erling Haaland and Jude Bellingham, Jesus Christ, for Jadon Sancho, we've seen that they've been, honest with their pricing of both of them. Erling Haaland had a release clause, of course, but with Jadon Sancho, they told Manchester United plain and simple what they wanted and when they wanted it. And I think that's the thing where, for me, and look, I get people's, again, for me, I get people's comments where they're like, oh, he won't do the good with, England because he won't get picked. But you never know. He might get put in there. And look, he is the future. Plain and simple. Jurgen Klopp has identified him for quite some time. Jordan Henderson, whenever you watch England content, he's always around Jordan Henderson, Jude Bellingham. Jordan Henderson giving him that little nudge. When Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain was linked with the club, he was always, Jordan Henderson. He went to Hendo straight away when Liverpool were knocking around the door. So, for me, it would be, again, something that's, a little bit washed in. For me, I might be a bit washed in, but for me, I think Liverpool need to get the pre-agreed contract done and dusted. If you want Jude Bellingham, and we've seen with the likes of Virgil van Dijk, Alisson Becker, when we want, and of course Darwin Núñez, we've seen when Liverpool want a player, they'll go and get the player. And for me, of course, people have seen that we've wanted to go and get the likes of Tchouaméni. We've identified, the midfield needs a position. But if Liverpool are, confident and willing enough to leave it for an extra year, for me, I think, look, it's plain and simple to see. It would be, I would estimate that, yes, I would absolutely love to sign Jude Bellingham next year. If Liverpool have already identified Jude Bellingham as the target but can't get him till next year, I'm fine with that. Absolutely fine with it. But for me, you have to go and get him now. You have to go and get him on a pre-agreed contract, or at least have something in advance. For me personally, anyway. But guys, let me know your thoughts in the chat down below, because I think many people will have different opinions and different thoughts on it as well. Of course, in the comment section down below. So let me know your thoughts in the chat. Anyway, but for me, I think Liverpool should try and get him now for next year. You don't have to sign him right now. But for me, go and get a pre-agreed contract sorted, similar to Naby Keita deal, in my opinion. But we need to do a deal now for Jude to get him next summer. I would agree, John. It's interesting that he's never strongly linked to any other English club, just Liverpool. But he is a Liverpool fan. His brother and him are season ticket holders, as we believe at the minute. His dad's also a Liverpool supporter as well. So I think the only other club I think that will get linked is Man City. I do generally think Man City will get linked with him in the next 12 months. Don't worry about the World Cup, mate. He's plays for England, says North Red as well. No, I get that. But again, it's that thing where, for me, it takes one injury for him to get into that midfield, and he should be in there. He's one of England's best midfielders, and I think he should definitely be in there. John, my thoughts exactly, says Brian as well. Not convinced with Jude Bellingham, says Mark. Mark, let me know your thoughts. Why not? Of course, let me know your thoughts. North Red spot on. He's going to be worth 25 million after it, says Brian. Harsh, yes, but 24, 30-year-olds, mid experience, hungry and prime for football players. We have one in our midfield. City have 4. That's why they have 4 in 5 Premier Leagues. No UCLs, but they will eventually. Hey, Jared, don't say that, because I don't think City will ever get a Champions League. But I can understand where you're coming from. But again, I think it is a tiny bit harsh. I think, again, look, we've won Premier Leagues, we've won Champions Leagues. And look, we have the future. Harvey Elliott, Curtis Jones, Fabio Carvalho as well. Carvalho is going to be amazing at Liverpool under Klopp. And guarantee that already. Watch him be terrible now. To be fair, I think it will be interesting how Bellingham copes without Haaland. Could possibly a side deal, or whether he stays put. I think he's definitely staying this summer, guys. Don't get me wrong, he's definitely staying unless something changed drastically. But he's definitely staying at Dortmund. I think that's already been confirmed by Dortmund themselves as well. I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of the work has already been done behind the scenes, to be awfully honest with you. Yeah, I would agree 100%. I don't care who he says he favours, or who his mates are in the England setup. If it is open bidding war, we are thin ice with zeros on contracts, count money talks. Yeah, no, I'd agree. And that's what I mean. I think Liverpool have to act now instead of allowing and getting outbid. Like, this is why Liverpool didn't go after Erling Haaland. Liverpool knew that we could pay the release clause. Look, we paid similar enough money for Darwin Núñez, but the Darwin Núñez deal as a whole was a considerably less than Erling Haaland to Manchester City. And that's what I mean. I think Liverpool didn't want a bidding war with Darwin Núñez. They wanted him, and got him. But again, it's the same with Jude Bellingham. And I think Bellingham, whenever Liverpool have been mentioned, he's been given that little links of an and given that little, similar to, what other players have done in the past. Virgil did it when he was at Southampton. He got mentioned to Liverpool. He knew he wanted to go to Liverpool. I think Jude's in that same bracket at the minute, I would say, personally. Anyway, if Jude gets serious injury in the World Cup, it will drive his price down. You'd hope so. But again, I hope that he doesn't get injured, because again, I think Jude Bellingham is on for an amazing career, no matter where he goes. Look, even if he was to go to another team, Jude Bellingham, for me, I think is going to be, we've talked about how well Jordan Henderson's done, under Jurgen Klopp, and how well he's progressed through his Liverpool career. I think Jude Bellingham is on that similar path, to be awfully honest with you, at the minute. Anyway, guys, but guys, just let me know your thoughts. Let me know your thoughts on everything we've mentioned tonight. Mentioned, of course, Michael Edwards. We've spoken about Jude Bellingham. We've spoken about Christopher Nkunku as well. There's other stuff we've spoken about as well. Neco Williams as well. Ben Davies, the model as well. But again, look, it's for me, I think it's plain and simple. I think, look, Michael Edwards isn't going to Manchester United or Chelsea. And look, Jude Bellingham, for me, I think Liverpool should go all in for Jude Bellingham next summer. Now, anyway, I would say, even though he's a great prospect, but I'm not convinced he's worth 80 million at the moment. Yeah, I agree with your point, but I think if you're going to pay for, you look at his age as well. You're going to be paying for someone that you're going to have over 10 years at a football club. And I think, look, again, 80 million, it is a lot of money to risk on one player. But again, if he's the correct guy, and if Jurgen Klopp wants him, other people at the club want him, for me, get him. Doesn't look outstanding in our poor England side. Not sure if he would fit our style, says Mark. Fair enough. Again, Gareth Southgate, though, he plays Rice and another defensive midfielder in it too. But yeah, I get what you mean, Mark, to be fair. We have one Premier League and one UCL, not multiple. If we stand still, we'd be the Arsenal to City. No. And to be fair, we're not staying still, to be fair. The way they were to United competed, but didn't get over the line. And to be fair, yeah, I get your point. We've got one Champions League, one Premier League, but we've been to multiple Champions League finals, and that's not going to change. Liverpool's midfield, yes, it lacks, at the minute it's going through that development phase. But again, I think it's very much underrated, Liverpool's midfield. Look, we speak about the forward line being amazing, defense amazing, goalkeeper amazing. Our midfield, we talk crap about, but it's genuinely amazing. The midfield is practically the workhorse of the team. Thiago's amazing, Fabinho's amazing, Jordan Henderson's amazing. Look, again, I understand people are going, with the age and things like that, but look, Liverpool are building the future. Liverpool have the future at the minute. And again, City, look at City, everyone wants to leave Man City at the minute. All their midfielders, Gundogan wants to leave, Bernardo Silva wants to leave. Again, they're going through their refill. Their second phase as well under Pep Guardiola. It happens. And I think, look, Liverpool's midfield is getting a bit disrespected. But I understand, Jared, your point. But for me, I think, again, Liverpool's midfield getting very, very, very underrated, in my opinion. I would say anyway. I agree. Get the boy now. What could Klopp do with this kid? It could be amazing, couldn't he? To be fair, Mark says, let's get these likes up for the outstanding content. Thank you very much, Mark. I do very much appreciate it, my friend. Liverpool convinced, confident, a little bit arrogant in the market now. Great to see it. I do agree with Jared too. We are light in midfield, lots of numbers, but missing a Fabinho understudy. To that point, I would agree on that. But I also think Jordan Henderson goes into that. I think once Liverpool have, and we speak about Jude Bellingham again, if he was to come in, then I think Jordan Henderson, and you'll see more as a 6. I think Klopp's even spoken about it last season, where he said he wants Jordan Henderson to be a 6. He doesn't want him to be an 8. But I understand that. That's actually a very good point. We do lack a Fabinho type player when Fabinho's not there. But yeah, I would agree with you on that, Bri, to be fair. If we sell Neco with the first choice to buy back, at the minute, I don't think so at the minute, but there's been nothing talked about the contract situation in terms of that. To be fair, he's not been sold yet, so we'll know in the next week or two, I suspect anyway. Would you put Bellingham in the same bracket as Xavi and Gerrard? No, at the minute. No, I wouldn't put Jude Bellingham in the same bracket as Xabi Alonso and Gerrard. Not yet, anyway. Maybe in the future, but yeah, Xabi Alonso and Steven Gerrard, next level. Especially Steven Gerrard. Of course, the best player to ever play for Liverpool, in my opinion. But of course, I could be recency biased. Of course, this midfield nearly won is the lot. We're going nowhere, says John. Won us the lot, exactly. Not yet Helen, but he could very well get there. Yeah, exactly. He could get there. And Jurgen Klopp, but at the minute, no, I wouldn't put him there at the present moment in time. Anyway, but guys, thank you so much for tuning in to tonight's show. Anyway, of course, like I said, we've spoken about everything. We've spoken about Michael Edwards, Jude Bellingham, Neco Williams. We've also spoken about Christopher Nkunku as well, and other things as well. Hopefully we'll be live most days, I would say, at 9 o'clock with different things, and so on, different shows as well. I'm going to try and introduce some new things as well, other than transfers, because yes, transfers are happening at the minute, but again, there are going to be a few days where nothing happens in terms of the market as well. But guys, if you want leave any video suggestions, anything you want to see on the channel, then let me know in the comment section down below as well, and I'll of course make some videos with some great people as well. Sterling wants out of his City as he will struggle to get games. Chelsea supposedly he's meant to be going, isn't he? Be interesting. After it says the only player that plays in our midfield on a regular basis that I don't think is good enough is Naby. Don't you dare say anything about my Naby, lads. No, I get it. People have their opinions, but Phil, again, I think Naby is like Marmite to people. I think you either love him or you hate him. And for me, I love him. I love Naby Keita, but I understand. To be fair, brilliant show, mate. You're cheating bastard. Thank you, John, as well, and Ravi's in as well, saying yo as well. Big up Ravi as well. But guys, that's going to be it from me for tonight. Anyway, thank you so much to each and every single one of you that has commented on the show. I do very much appreciate each and every single one of you. And look, guys, football is just all about opinions. Look, we can respect one another's opinions and debate and that. Again, for me, look, it's good to have the debate. Some people will agree with you, some people won't agree with you, but I think, look, if we can stay nice in the comments and that and all that good thing, look, we can respect one another's opinion. And look, some people might not agree, some people might agree, but I think, look, that's the best thing about football. You can have nice debates. Yes, people do take it ridiculously and take it stupidly sometimes, but look, people, this is what football's about. It's about talking. It's about look, communicating one another and just enjoying and having a debate. Look, there's no football to talk about at the minute, and we're just debating about transfers and positions and things like that. But it's always nice to just have a debate and just have a little talk about it as well. So guys, thank you to each and every single one of you in the chat down below. I do very much appreciate each and every single one of you as well. If you're new around here as well, viewing us for the first time, then please don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you're new, and don't forget to hit the like button as well, because it does massively help the channel out as well. Well, yeah, with the algorithm and all that good stuff. Anyway, but guys, I will see you hopefully all of you tomorrow at 9 o'clock for another show as well. Might be transfer, might be something else as well. But until next time, guys, that is going to be it from me. I've been Connor from the Cop Council. I'll see you all then. Ta-ra.